Hey, what's up guys, Auto Fanatics. So today we have a beautiful 1989 Ferrari 328 GTS in Nero over cream interior with 8,000 original miles. Now, the 328 is a revised version of the iconic Ferrari 308 from the 1970s. Iconic because at the time, Ferrari and Pinninfarina were all about the wedge-shaped designs integrating vents, ducts, and the Coke bottle silhouette profiles as part of their car's functionality and iconic designs with models such as the 308, the 512BB, and of course the 328 that we have here. The Ferrari 328 was made from 1985 to 1989. However, in mid-1988, Ferrari revised the suspension and braking system to incorporate anti-lock brakes, which was the first model to ever have anti-lock brakes from Ferrari. As a result of this new high-tech option, Ferrari had to revise suspension components, and the easiest way to spot an ABS car is based on the wheel profile. So earlier cars had the same style wheels as the 308. They had more of a concave face profile, whereas on the 88.5 to 89 cars, they had more of a convex profile because the rotors were different and a couple of other changes along the way were different. So when you work and maintain these cars, you really have to make sure that you order the correct parts for your Ferrari, because subtle changes such as the brake rotors, the steering racks, and other components are pretty unique to the 88.5 to 89 models. Now, the 308 and 328 are also some of the most recognizable Ferraris ever made due to their popularity with Hollywood movies and television shows. For instance, Magnum PI, whereas the 308 GTS was almost a feature of every episode as Tom Selleck whizzed around Hawaii as an 80s heartthrob. We also saw in a legendary movie, The Cannonball Run, whereas Rat Pack, Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin were impersonating priests, were high-speed pursuits doing their road rallies in also a Ferrari 308. We also saw Christie Brinkley, supermodel of the time, speeding away in National Lampoons Family Vacation while Clark Grisswald almost crashed into her on the parkway. So by having these cars featured in Hollywood movies and also TV shows, it seriously sparked a lot of interest and also increased sales and the identity of these models of their time. These cars are just so timeless to look at and so special to get behind the wheel to drive, which we're going to do in a couple of moments, but let me highlight some of the key design elements before we jump in for the drive. Now, the 1980s were all about vents, and the 328 has them everywhere. So we'll start with the side quarter windows. Now, not only are they perfect as far as eliminating blind spots, but on the driver's side, that's how you access the fuel filler, is through the little vent what pops open, and that's how you put fuel in the car. And it's just really streamlined that they didn't stick a fuel door on the side of the car and kind of ruin the design language of what they were kind of going for. Now, we also have vents on the rear engine bay, of course, to extract heat. The front hood also has extractor vents, but the most iconic feature of the 308 and the 328 is really the tapered, streamlined ductwork that starts at the doors and goes right into the leading panel of the quarter panels for cooling. These were so integrated not only for function but style, and it was just done to such perfection. Another neat feature of this car is the rear roof spoiler to direct airflow, and it's also wrapped in matching textured vinyl, just like the removable GTS roof panel. If you look closely at the rear quarter panel area in that real quarter shot, you'll see that there's also a subtle upsweep on the back of the car as another aerodynamic and design touch. Almost like they're trying to integrate a spoiler, but they did it so subtly, and the 348 and 355 also has that same feature when you look at those as well. Moving on, let's open up the front hood, and here you'll see there's a full-size spare and jack assembly, and get a little bit of a close-up view. You can see the engine cooling fans as they extract heat through the vents in the front hood as well. Now, everyone loves pop-up headlights, so let me show you these. When you look at the nose of the car with the lights up, it has a very big bug eye effect, and it's really neat and so 80s in style. I love the 328 design because they streamlined the bumpers and smoothed things out quite a bit from the earlier 308 variants, and the satin aluminum egg crate grille really gives the car a much more modern appearance. Now let's go to the back and let's open up the engine cover and show you the transversely mounted 3.2 V8. Now, horsepower and torque was bumped up quite a bit to 270, but with the use of Bosch Getronic fuel injection and Magneti Marelli ignition system. You can see how simple this layout is and the quality of this low mileage car, where all the yellow CAD plating is intact and all the textured and satin finishes look correct as original. What makes servicing these cars so affordable is that the engine belts can be replaced from inside the wheel well without dropping the engine and transaxle out. Whereas on cars, Ferrari Testarossas and other cars, they become maintenance hogs because a lot of people get scared to own them, and that's why the 308 and 328s are really very affordable. It's a great start for someone to get into Ferrari ownership, but you could spend more time enjoying the car rather than having it constantly in the shop. So with the neat packaging and the way the car is designed with the engine transversely mounted, we have this neat little storage compartment. When you unzip the vinyl cover, you can kind of throw some, golf clubs in there or whatever you want, but it's definitely nice to have a little bit of storage in the car. So before we go forward, let's go over the interior quick before we go for the test drive. Here you can see the interior is very basic, nothing fancy. Everything is covered in Connolly leather, very, very comfortable seats, and it has a small side sill. So getting in and out of the car is very, very easy compared to like a Testarossa or even a 348 or 355 for some people. The dash houses, orange backlit Veglia gauges. Remaining gauges are on the center stack. The buttons on the center console were also revised from the toggle switches from the 308. And of course, the gated 5-speed manual gear lever is positioned always in the perfect spot. A Momo steering wheel rounds out the package, and it becomes one of the most rewarding analog experiences of this vintage. So let's stop talking, let's get in the car, go for a drive, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts at the end of the video. All right, guys, we're in the 89 Ferrari 328 GTS, dogleg first gear, over to the left, down to the back. We're just gonna take it on one of my favorite roads, just do a little bit of a road test assessment. It's a little loud in here, we got the windows down. And these cars are an absolute joy to drive. They really are, with the manual steering, gated shifter, really good visibility. This car is actually a bit easier to get in and out of than the 355, 348 for me anyway. And it has plenty of power to go on a back road like this and have some fun. So it's not anemic like some of those early 308s were. This thing feels great. Ride quality on these cars with the double wishbone suspension is absolutely phenomenal. They really are. It's really impressive how well these older Ferraris ride. Car feels good. It's a very analog, engaging experience. No traction control, manual rack. It's just unbelievable how much fun these cars are. For a classic Ferrari, it doesn't feel like a dinosaur when you get in and drive it. This particular version, the 89 328s, it just has enough modern, analog, and classic all wrapped into the one little package, and I absolutely love these cars. They are so much fun to drive. It's not about 0 to 60 or quarter mile, it's just about getting in and enjoying the experience of actually driving the car. And that's what makes these cars so rewarding and so special to drive. And they're also very easy to own. They're not that much of a maintenance hog. They're very easy to repair and fix. But yeah, this is a lot of fun today. So we're gonna loop this back around. Now I'm initially driving the car to do an assessment. We're gonna possibly be doing some suspension and chassis restoration in our shop. So I wanted to road test the car to kind of get a feel and an idea of what's going on with it. Just from age, a lot of the rubber and everything just dries up and deteriorates. But this car is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. It just hugs the road, it rides beautiful. The Momo steering wheel feels great in your hands. It's just the right size. Even though, the wheel is canted up a little bit, it just feels perfect. The driving position, the pedals being offset to the right. Everything about the experience is what gives you the reward at the end when you get in here and you drive it. And the exhaust tone is good. It's not like too quiet, but it's just enough that you can take the top off. Well, I didn't do that today. It'll be just a little bit too noisy. Drop the windows and just listen to that 3.2 transversely mounted V8 just open up, and oh, it's just amazing. You get the click from the shifter. And you could really feel that rear suspension coming around that corner as we went up. God, I love these old Ferraris. Absolutely love them. So that's it for our test drive. I'm going to get out and give you my final thoughts on the 1989 Ferrari 328 GTS. So stay tuned for the rest of the video. This is absolutely a blast. This car, oh, this thing is so good. So good, this car. All right, guys, just got pulled over from the drive portion of road testing this 1989 328 GTS. Now, my final thoughts of the car, it is phenomenal. If anybody out there is looking to get into a classic Ferrari that has just enough analog, it has the right style, it's easy to work on, very affordable maintenance. You got the legendary gated shifter, manual steering, Momo steering wheel. This one also, you know, the 89s and 88.5s, they had the ABS brakes. It was the first Ferrari that they integrated ABS brakes, but there's plenty of room in the car. I'm not claustrophobic. You remove the top, you get that beautiful sound from the 3.2 engine. It's just a phenomenal experience. It's a little hot in here. I didn't have the air conditioning on. I have the windows down, and it's like 100 degrees plus humidity. But I just want to let you guys know, if anybody out there really wants to get into a really affordable and easy to own Ferrari, please consider a Ferrari 328, whether it's a GTB or a GTS. I think you guys are going to be very happy with the driving experience. If you guys love G-body Porsches, you're looking for that real analog, old school feel, you know, very basic. You got very basic backlit Veglia gauges. There's no technology in this car whatsoever, but it's just such a joy and such a pleasure to drive. I can't even tell you how much fun I had to get behind the wheel. Now, I actually almost bought one of these in June of 2020. I actually regret not buying it right now because the prices of these cars have gone very high in the last year and a half. So if you guys are on the fence or thinking about picking one up, I suggest you go find the best one you can right now and pick it up, because life's too short. Enjoy it, enjoy the drive. And I'm going to tell you right now, this car is going to put so many smiles and so much gratification in your life when you go out and just de-stress and go for that little back road drive like I just did. You're going to come back with a smile on your face. So thanks for watching this video. Please stay tuned to the Auto Fanatic channel. If you guys want to see more content on the 328 GTS, when we do the chassis and suspension restoration, post it in the comments below. We may film a documented series of what we're going to do on this car very shortly. So stay tuned to the Auto Fanatic channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Thanks, guys.